Hey, everybody, welcome to Build the Kingdom, where we talk lifestyle, real estate, and business. Real stories to help you imitate success and avoid lessons. I hope you enjoy the show. What is going on, everybody? This is your host, Tyler Burke. Today, we have a special guest for the inaugural Build the Kingdom podcast. We have Samantha Elizabeth with us, aka Samantha Burke, the co-owner of Kingdom Kribs. How you doing, Samantha?
I am doing great.
Good.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for coming on today and helping out your also beautiful husband and kicking off his podcast journey. Today we've got a special episode, something that we want to continue doing on a regular basis. We're going to do a little live design creation with Samantha and some of the wonderful things she's doing. But Sammy, why don't you give the listeners a little bit of a rundown on who you are, where you're from, and how you got into the interior decor space?
All right. Okay. So long story or short story?
We'll go a little bit shorter.
All righty. Okay. So I feel like for interior decor, obviously we started with our first home. That kind of got me the push to really go back into what I really enjoy doing, which is interior decor. And that was what, three years ago? Or was
About
it
3 years ago now, yeah.
Okay. Almost 3 years ago. So fast. Okay, so rewind before that. I've always loved, I'm a visual person, I'm a creative, and I always loved interior decor. So when I would go to someone's house and I would see like things are not in the correct order in my mind, I would literally ask for permission and say, can I please move this here? And they'll be like, yes, go ahead. So I don't know. I think it started young without knowing that it was interior decor. It's more of that feng shui. Also, there's so many names that you can call it to create, a beautiful space.
Awesome.
I'm like, where else do I go from there? Going back to the Dominican Republic, growing up in a third world country, I don't know if you guys know, but like we have plastic covers on our couches. At least that's how I grew up at my grandma's house. So there wasn't much, I guess, comfort in that sense when you're, trying to enjoy the space that you're in. It's more like you got to sit properly or you'll stick to the furniture or, just, there were more like guest spaces versus like a family space that you would hang out and like be comfortable and chill and like,
A little bit more of a home feeling.
It was not more of a home feeling.
I'm saying how you like to design.
Yes.
Okay.
I like an aesthetic home feeling without feeling like I have to set up proper. Obviously, in your own space, that's how you want to feel. But growing up, we have the opposite. We have these beautiful furniture pieces that are made of wood and then really hard cushions. So it's not nappable. And I feel like, we live in a time and place where we are so busy that we need spaces that are nappable, but also beautiful. So, yeah.
That's awesome. And talk a little bit about, so the listeners can understand your journey prior to interior decor with how maybe some of the influence in rooms you were in out in LA, some of the experiences you've had, and maybe some of the beautiful places that you've been blessed to be invited to, if some of that played a part in how you grew in your interior decor. Because as some people do, they get, they study, they get a full degree behind a specific field that they want to pursue. And I know you are more the HGTV taught, but then also life experience taught learner, where you learn a lot better. So maybe tell us a little bit about how some of those experiences could have shaped the journey.
Yeah. So like you mentioned, me going to different events, home parties, etc., in the Hollywood Hills, Miami, whatever. I didn't really get much inspo from those places necessarily. I feel like I get more inspo from vacations, and just like natural elements, but also being in a modern world, like mixing those two things together. So I feel like that's where I get my inspo from versus a lot of these, like, I guess the homes that I was in, how do I put it? yeah, just looking back, that was not my like what I was focused on.
Okay.
Um, but as for school, I actually, when I was like 23, I wanted to go to school for it. And I got blessed with Vincent, my second son. So that was a big pause. And then I just never looked back at it anymore. Um, but like you mentioned, I always loved HGTV. That would be on as I went to sleep. So I would just hear and see all these beautiful spaces that I really like got inspired by in my daily life, even in my own, you know, when I was living with the boys. Like I would try to like put wallpaper up on myself and create a lamp by myself, just all these different things. Going to Goodwill to find a piece that I can paint just to get creative on a budget. So yeah, that's kind of how my journey started. And then obviously that extra big push when we started our first home with the Tulum feel. So
Awesome. Yeah. And so, with half of our business being related to the interior decor space, the other half being property management space, kind of white gloving that whole thing together. Something that we want to do, and kind of a continual, maybe weekly thing, monthly thing. We'll see how it goes. But we want to do a little live decor session. So if you are listening in on a platform that does allow the video, please make sure you have the video open for this. So Sammy is going to open up her laptop, and our goal with this is she has this outfit and decor inspo that she has done some reels on Instagram with, and they've been a hit. And so what she does and what she likes to do is take the outfit that she is wearing, design a room based on that outfit. And it could be any room throughout the house. Today, we're going to do a little office session. So, like I said, pull up the video so that way you can see the clips from Sammy recording her screen. But what we're going to do is have Sammy run us through kind of how she feels out a room when she's basing a design off of her outfit, how she likes the room to flow, and just kind of get inside the mind of a designer. So Sammy, go ahead, take it away a little bit and let us know what you're going to design today.
all right. So this all kind of started the design. What do I call it again? I'm going blank here. Designing based on my outfit. So obviously started for fun, making reels. So we're kind of taking on now to a podcast that you guys can see how the process works. I guess
Yeah,
that's what.
see
Okay.
the process, get inspiration.
Yeah.
It's another way for people who are just soaking up information like
Yeah.
you used to and learning, and maybe they can get inspiration from your tactics and techniques.
All right. Okay. So let's see. Obviously, when designing a space, you have to look at what you have, what you already have, what your space already has, right? So if you have carpet, wood, or do you have the budget to change those elements, or do we work with it? Obviously, for this, I'm going to change a few things here, like the flooring, wall color for well, yeah, you'll see. So yeah, just depends on your budget. You can make those changes, but here we're gonna change the flooring to make it more updated and modern. There's a ton of options, so it all just depends on the feel that you want to go for. But I feel like the bigger the floorboards are, it makes the space just look larger versus like those tinier. Um,
And do you typically like to run those across the room when you walk in, or is it something that you want to be walking in with? So the floorboards are kind of running north and south, or do you want them to cross across from you when you go into a room?
Honestly, it just depends on how your home is structured. I think for our house, we just did our floors last year, and we went. You know, when you open the door, the floors are going. How do you say that?
Just like a north and south,
Yeah,
so straight away from
yeah,
you.
straight away from you. So, um, all right. So let's just get to it. So floors here. I'm going to do an accent wall, even though I'm being told by a lot of people that accent walls are no longer in. I'm still going to do what I want to do and add a black accent wall because we can. So,
And just to check, since this is our first episode, we are screen recording.
Yes.
Awesome.
I'm going to go with Tricorn Black by Sherwin Williams. I hope that's how you say it. Tricorn, Treecorn. Okay. So one of the first things that I would do, or one of the last things, is pick the light fixtures in a way, because you're kind of marrying the furniture to the light fixtures versus like picking a light fixture and then having to design based around that. Like once you have like your bigger furniture pieces, um, you can have more of a flow feeling into what kind of chandelier or lighting you want. So for this specific design, we're going to go a little bit of a safari, um, a modern safari office. So you're going to start seeing that as we go. All right, so here we're going to add, like I mentioned, it's an office. So we're going to pull in a desk, this beautiful bleached oak desk.
And with all of the desks out there, for a person like me who is not very in tune with their decor skills, there are so many different desks, right? Like so many different wood colors, so many
Mhm.
different quote unquote safari feels. How do you confidently narrow in on, a specific desk, specific chair? Obviously, you look for comfort and,
Yeah.
it's an office, so you want the desk to work well, you want the chair to be comfortable, but yeah, how do you, with all of those options out there, really narrow in to give an understanding for people who, may just feel like they're overwhelmed when looking for products?
Yeah, I mean, with desk, it's a question of, do you stand when you work? You're gonna be a little bit more limited to choose from, but yeah, it just depends on who you are as a person and how you like to work. So there's L shapes. There's just regular um length desk. um but yeah, it just depends on what kind of worker you are. If you need more space, you get one that's an L shape. If you need one that you like to stand, you get one that can lift. So
And assuming when you're talking with clients, you're
mhm,
you're kind of feeling that out prior to going out and doing this broad search of desks. You're trying to
of
narrow in on
course.
what their feel is or what they like
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. Before I even get to the fun part, definitely have to ask all the good questions, because I want to design and decorate based on the person's needs, and then bring in that um, beautify the space so that they can have an elegant room. So,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so obviously I brought in a chair. I brought in this camel color leather desk chair, just to warm up the space. And then let's do. So actually, let me go back here, because for this room, we do need some natural light. So let's just pretend that this room has giant floor to ceiling windows, which we all love. I've never done this light before, so
That's all right.
I'm
You're
a
doing a
little
great job
nervous.
so far.
I would be a little extra here and add a picture of a safari in the background if we have time. But for now, let's just keep it blank back there. Um, all right. So again, when you're creating an office space, I love bringing in pieces that are very unique in some sense. If you were open to that idea, because a lot of people, not a lot of people, but I would say, um, when you live in a space that you're comfortable, it's kind of scary to jump into something that looks more unique versus like what you're used to. So I like to shake things up a tiny, tiny bit. So I found this beautiful mirror. I believe it's from, should I say the source?
Keep it hidden.
Okay,
Keep
I'll
keep
keep
your
it hidden.
secrets close.
Well, it's called convex mirror. So right now you can't really tell from this rendering photo, but basically when you look into it, it gives you like it's like a rounded mirror, so it has a curve to it, and it kind of
Comes away from the wall, you're
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Okay, so protrudes from the wall a little to give it more of a 3D look rather than flat 2D.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Nice. Does that distort the reflection at all?
Um, it does. It's not like a regular mirror, so just by distorting it just makes it things wider,
Okay.
basically. Kind of like those mirrors in garages, so you can see like if there's a car coming your way and if it's
Oh,
wide.
yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of like this concept, but way better quality
Gotcha.
of a mirror. Hmm
4K garage mirror. Nice.
Exactly. Okay, so I'm gonna put it to this wall over here. Again, I did do an accent wall, but with what's in at the moment, if I'm going off by that, go ahead and drench the whole space with that same color. Um,
Walls, ceiling, everything?
yes.
All right.
And that is another scary thing to people when I've mentioned that. They feel like, won't this make my space feel smaller? But for some reason, it accentuates the length of your room with the correct um, tricks here and there, which curtains. Curtains. If you bring your curtains all the way up to the ceiling to the floor, it's going to make the space feel so much larger. That's a little trick for you guys. A lot of
Like,
people stop, or a lot of people start their curtains where the windows begin. And I'm like, why? You have all this space to play with to make your room look more luxurious and higher ceilings too.
and I
Little
can
trick.
confirm the curtains behind us, our home,
Yeah.
feels much bigger when they go floor to ceiling. Even when they're sitting side by side, that's something that I noticed too. When we left half of the window with the old curtains
Yeah.
and then the other half with the floor to ceiling, it makes even split the room in half and made it feel so much bigger just on one half of the room.
Yep. So that is what I'm doing right here now. Adding in some neutral colored curtains. I feel like curtains always make the space.
And these programs are so amazing. I feel like even 10 years ago, to be able to visualize a room and really commit to it, you almost had to take a chance with the products and purchase them and hope that the room worked out as much as you wanted it to. But now I feel like you can get such a good grasp for what the space will be like before even having to
Yeah.
commit to the purchases. So,
Or if you're like me, I was on Sims decorating. Did you ever get on Sims?
oh, I played Sims all the time. Yeah,
Did
but
you?
I definitely was not
You
decorating.
weren't decorating?
I was being a menace in the neighborhood, like emptying people's pools and
Yeah,
making their alarm clocks go off.
I was definitely in there decorating, making my home like perfect.
Two different Sims players there.
Okay, so next, storage in here. So if you have the budget for it, you can do a custom wall of storage, or you can just pull in some cabinets to give you extra space to hide all your office things like books, all the beautiful mail we get that we don't necessarily need. But
Eliminate clutter.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, so I found these beautiful cabinets here. I love how they have how the wood has the paneling on it just to bring more length to the space. That's a little trick. Again, if the paneling was going the other way, it'll make the space feel wider. So we're playing with um, length here. So this is a fun trick for you guys because cabinets can be very expensive the wider you go. The wider you go, you're gonna be up to 1,000, 2,000, $3,000, obviously based on quality and up. So what I like to do is bring in um, two or three of the cabinets, combine them, and make one beautiful cabinet to store all your things. So technically here we have the space for two, if I'm going off of what this space may be. It's not huge space, but we can make a huge difference.
And when did you learn that trick? What inspired you to be able to get creative and maybe take, multiple pieces and make them look like one? Is there any place that you can pinpoint where you found that, or did you just try it out one time, kind of trial and error, and it worked?
Let's just say that, as you know, I'm Latina and I like to save
There you
money.
go. Okay.
So I did it at our house, and I found one cabinet because I wanted to have that long TV console, and the ones I wanted were just yeah. Even if we can afford it, I just try to avoid making big payments on things. So
Very
when
much that I'd rather have a plane ticket than a nice TV console type of girl.
exactly. But yeah, just I think from that, and that was what, maybe 3 years ago.
Going on 3 years, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So after that, I just started using that for clients too, and
Nice.
it works beautifully, especially if you're picking something like this where the corners are sharp. That's the only way I would recommend it. Like if the corners are sharp and flat, they can actually like marry as one together.
Got it. And I know it can sometimes catch people by surprise. I know you just flew back into town being in Northwest Austin, Texas. Believe it or not, Sammy has now flown to, I believe, 11 or 12 states to do decor jobs in, where she'll do a full white glove PDF mood board all the way to sourcing products and doing these spoke designs for clients so they can feel out every room of the house, sourcing it all, getting it on site. But somebody who was just putting together one of the Airbnbs that Sammy worked at, they threw out the question in the group text, and they were like, "Where is this other cabinet going?"
Oh yeah,
And you had to
yeah,
explain that we were
yep,
gonna mash them up together
hmm
to expand the room a little bit.
yeah,
So
yeah. So that is why I'm a little bit slow right now on my computer because I'm. It's been a long, 4 days,
4 or 5 days. Just
eight.
got back about 24 hours ago or
Yeah,
less.
yeah, less than 24 hours ago. 8 to 10 hours of being on my feet and not sitting down and skipping a lot of meals. So that's what I'm working with. But after this, we can go get something to
Yeah.
eat.
And next time, you know what? Let's just get something to eat and go straight to the podcast right when you get off the plane.
Perfect. That'll be amazing for
Efficient.
me. Okay, so
So
next,
explain the art piece.
yeah.
What's your inspiration behind art you pick, with colors, with
Mhm.
neutrals, with brights, with the style? With this one being safari based, like how do you pick your art? Because there is so much art out there too.
Yeah. Um, the bigger the better. Number one. So with art, I obviously it depends. I'm joking. It depends. But for here, we have such a big wall that if you're not doing like an accent wall with paneling or wallpaper, bringing a large piece of art can really fill the space without making it feel cluttered. Obviously, we're going with a safari themed office. So this was a safari art, which I thought was perfect. Um, but yeah, so after that, I would go in with lighting. Now that I have a sense of like what I can bring in for this space, I want to bring in um, something a little bit different that I haven't done in any space yet, and I'm hoping to actually recreate this kind of look for a client. So if you like it, let me know. Alrighty, so I found these beautiful flush mount lights, but we're not just going to use one. We're actually going to use 6 of them.
I was gonna say 2 or 3, but all right, 6.
So just pretend here, because The way this renderings work is kind of hard. So let's just have this here. You can kind of see a peekaboo of the other one on top of it.
And you would do 3 rows of 2, kind of going from left to right,
Yep.
it
Mm-hmm.
seems.
Exactly.
And so are these like your typical can lights that are flush with the ceiling, or do these come down a little bit out of the...
I got to look at the specs of it, but I believe they're like maybe 5 inches like in width.
Okay.
So they do come out. They're not flush to the ceilings.
Okay.
That's why you see that gold.
Got it.
Yep. What do you think of them?
I think they're great.
Okay.
I'm very much the I just hope the light works type of guy, you know, and the look of it's just, as long as I can be efficient in my brand new Safari office with some good lighting so I don't have to squint all day.
Yes. Well, you'll definitely get a lot of good lighting with these ones. And let's just say that they're dimmable. So you can go as bright or as dim as you want this with the lighting. Oh, Lord, what have I done? I was just taking a nap before this, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So, like I mentioned before, if you want to go all out and drench the room with the same color, you can. See how bigger of a difference that makes? And then if you were to do the ceilings as well.
I like that.
It's just,
That looks great.
it's just so moody. So obviously I was going to go with the black, just one black wall. Even if you did, let's just say this is a white wall. Oopsies. This is another little trick for smaller spaces. You do wherever, like for this space, I'm going to do the back wall, that one color, and then bring it up to the ceiling. So it's creating like that length to the room.
Okay. So then opposite of the windows, you would do white. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Something like that. So there's a lot we can play with paint. Can't be afraid of paint either. Okay. Here's the star of the show, I should say. I should say, which is the rug. So you can tell we're going to be matching because I wore this in honor of the rug. A beautiful zebra pattern. And it's actually very, very affordable. This is a wild one, isn't it? Like,
Pun intended there.
I have not done anything like this. So again, this is me being creative and out of my comfort zone, or out of a lot of people's comfort zone, because not a lot of people would think to do a safari themed space in their own home. Like we would see that at a hotel, you know, which we love to go to hotels.
Yeah, I know your typical design is a lot more modern, neutrals, more simple, right? And some of these
Simple.
in regards to, I would say, not a lot of rugs with prints like this, right? Like zebra
Yes.
prints,
And
or a lot more just, flat neutral colors or minimal print within the rugs.
yeah, and again, that's due because of the clients.
Yes.
Like it has to be comfortable for them as well.
Correct.
And it's kind of hard to get out of your comfort zone sometimes. So you tend to pick things that are more neutral and you can build on, I would
Now,
say.
is this office something that you feel you would do more with clients that you have worked with for a personal home office, or is this something that you feel could work also in maybe a short or midterm rental home that has office access for somebody to utilize?
I think both.
Both?
Honestly, yeah. If you are someone that likes to, like for me, this would be a cool space because it doesn't feel like where you're at, right? So we live in Scottsdale. You want to step into something that doesn't feel like where you're at. So it's kind of pushing you, motivating you to get to that place.
Okay.
You know? So again, when designing too, I love decorating based on the feel that you want to experience in your home. So for us, I kind of went with like Greece-esque, but neutral Greece-esque for our home. Because I really want to go there. And I think and it's also just beautiful and it's calm and it's welcoming. And you can build on that versus it just being like collective. You can do a collective home nicely, but I feel like when you don't have like an overall vision, then it can start looking cluttery. That's why I have a lot of clients that do come or have come with a half done space and then they want me to finish the rest um, because they're kind of stuck on the vision part. Okay, so next we're just gonna accessorize. We're not gonna do too much on this space. Well, we don't have a 2 hour podcast, but there's so much more you can do. But this would just be a good foundation to build on. So, quick lamp. Chose a black one to kind of bring in more of that black from the wall. And then we're going to add some beautiful Sherlin chairs. I think that's how you say it. Sherlin, the fabric.
You're asking the wrong guy.
See, okay. Well, I'm good with like the eye thing, but when it comes to like technical names, it looks like sheep. That's what I would call it.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm bringing two of these in. There's someone that likes to have people host meetings in your workspace. These are great. And it kind of just brings the space together. Oops. Oh, Lord. I'm getting flustered here. Okay, let's add some more mood lighting. So if you don't want all the overhead lights on, you can have some wall sconces here. And we're going to do 2. We can balance out the space. Again, kind of just trying to break up the black on the wall by bringing in these sconces. Again, like I said, this is a bit you can build upon this. So even with the art, I love adding lighting to art. So a light above the art piece will be beautiful, especially at night. I don't know if you like mood lighting, where it's just like, do I keep saying you like a lot?
No, I agree with the mood lighting.
Yeah.
In my office, the lamp that sits next to the desk, typically I have the main light off and just the mood lighting from the standalone lamp that comes up over the edge of the desk.
Yeah.
I love to sit in a room that is, get some outside light into it, but also have some mood lighting, which is just enough for me to stay focused and keep my head down.
Yes. Especially at home, like you want to feel cozy. So I love like putting lighting behind a mirror, putting lighting where you have a tree, plug-in lights that are very just warmer toned to bring coziness to your space. All right, so here just adding some decor, a natural vase and some stems, and we're gonna call it a day.
All right. I know that's something you like to do in every space that you decorate is have some sort of stem, leaf, little bit of greenery, some kind of natural plant.
Just a little bit.
What's the love behind that? Is it something that you feel just ties the space together, brings some of the outside, outdoors in? Is that the feel behind it?
Yeah, pretty much. Just if we're created to be outside, I feel like, so just bring some elements to help you feel that nature connects to nature.
Yeah. And can we get I don't know if the program allows you to give a zoomed in shot of
Hmm.
presentation
Yes.
view of the room?
Get it together here. Let me drop these back. Almost there. Almost there.
And so fill the listeners in on,
Oh Lord.
how a process like this, say somebody did have a half put together office, or, they don't want to make too many changes.
Hmm.
How adaptable are you to, different clientele? Would you say you've worked a pretty balanced decor portfolio based on a clear slate, a half done slate? Somebody's had 90% of it done and just needed you to come in and wrap things up for them. Obviously, understanding an artist's favorite piece is a blank
Blanks.
slate,
Yeah. Blank
but how
canvas.
how adaptable are you to helping out clients where they currently are?
Yeah, so obviously I'm very adaptable. I want to be able to help however I can. So whether you have a blank canvas or already have some pieces in the home that you really, really love, don't want to let go of, I'm there. Yeah. Obviously, if something is like, okay, you want this theme, but then the furniture that you do want to keep doesn't go with it, I have to be realistic about the overall um end product or end feel that you're gonna get, but that can always be worked with decor too. So
Mhm.
yeah. But yeah, here we have our final rendering of the office.
Awesome.
Yeah, pretty fun.
Yeah, and so if people are interested, let's say in this design,
Mhm.
or in asking you questions, or in maybe having you step in and fill a room or an entire home for them, let the people know where can people find you, our socials best. Obviously, other than kingdomkribs.com,
Mhm.
cribs with a K,
Yep.
there are some design consultations. So,
Yes.
let people know where they can find you, how they can get a hold of you if you do consultations. Let them know.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a ton of ways because I'm pretty active in all these different outlets that we have now, but obviously social media. I am Samantha Elizabeth, even at Kingdom Kribs, with a K, and Kingdom Kribs at gmail.com, if that's what you want to use. So
Yeah. Yeah. So, outside of that, the ongoing structure of
mm,
kind of the podcast, the decor podcast. I know you love to do the blank slate,
mhm.
and we also would challenge people who are listening in. If you ever have a creative idea, we'd love to try and jump on. Throwing a room together with a specific outfit, maybe somebody has in mind. Give Sammy a feel like, hey, you're half Canadian, half French Canadian.
I
So why
am.
don't you
Oui,
throw on
oui.
why don't you throw on a Canadian tuxedo today and make up something that would be up in the woods in Canada,
Yeah.
right? So we'd love to, have people express their different ideas and what they may like to see, but then also, some of these just giving you full creative control, and
Mhm.
maybe a few of these we can just do on the spot, where we can do some live Q&A and then have some people throw some curveballs at you and see what we can do. But yeah, so if you guys are interested, hit up Sammy. I am Samantha Elizabeth on Instagram, kingdomkribs.com with a K. There are design consultations there if you'd like to ask her any questions. Hop in a Google Meet, get her input, see if it's something that you would like to hire her on for, or just, again, be a sponge, learn from her. I know Sammy loves to help people, loves to help them where they are. And so, yeah, we appreciate you all listening in today. We're hopeful that we can continue on with some of these continuous design consultations, and we'll see you all on the next episode.
See you guys later. Hopefully, I wasn't too nervous.